CIFOR-ICRAF focuses on biodiversity conservation, food security and nutrition, and climate resilience. Our mandate is really how trees can participate in all of those aspects. And really, it's how do we connect forests to agroforestry, to value chains, and to ensuring food security and equitable jobs across value chains that link food security and conservation. So one of the key elements is trees are really critical to soil health. So one of the things we talked about was that 65% of African soils are degraded. And so how we change that is really critical. Right now, with degraded soils, what we have is really low pH and low soil organic matter. What that translates is that fertilizer use efficiency is very low, and the fertilizer cannot be absorbed by poor soils. At the same time, soil organic matter, when it's very low, water isn't absorbed and retained. And so whether you have droughts or flooding, poor soils are very poor at retaining water. And so what we see is the critical importance of soil health in improving agricultural productivity by increasing soil organic matter, capacity for African soils to hold better fertilizer and inputs that really increase and realize the nutrition that is available in soils. And so we see those as really key elements to increasing agriculture productivity and ensuring that as we increase agricultural productivity, the projections of the $110 billion worth of imports that we could see happening by 2025 can really be reversed, and that we can really have investment in soil health in Africa that increases food security and productivity, that increases revenues in each country related to food productivity, and also increases the role of regional trade in increasing prosperity on the continent. At CIFOR-ICRAF, we specialize in technologies that are related to trees, to soil health. We have the landscape degradation surveillance platform that's a great framework to ensuring that we monitor and know what the baselines have around soil health. And so one of the things we agreed on is the really critical importance of natural capital on the continent. So it's not enough to just look at GDP, but it's really critical to understand that Africa represents critical carbon sinks for the planet and for humanity. And how we look at the value of this natural capital is really critical and should be taken into consideration on how African countries are financed, particularly to bring resilience to climate change, as well as bringing back biodiversity and ensuring food security on the continent. We know that only 3% of climate funding reaches smallholder farmers. So transforming how we finance agriculture and prioritizing supporting smallholder farmers, not only in the fight against climate change, but also food security, nutrition, as well as increasing biodiversity can really be key. And so by valuing our natural capital, and looking how this can be seen as an asset when we're looking at how Africa accesses finance to climate is a really critical way of valuing what Africa brings to the world.